Hey guys, Simon T here. Welcome to another video blog. Banks versus mortgage brokers. With most of the people that we talk to in real estate circles, I appreciate have got a relationship with a bank or a lending institution, but normally it's one of the big four banks. And most people we talk to when they're at open for inspections, or obviously we're talking about buying property, we say, look, at what stage are you with your finance? Are you pre-approved, particularly with auction properties, or even with properties that are on the market at a list price and they want to make an offer subject to finance? And most people say, oh, look, we're in touch with our bank. And that's fine. I respect that and understand that. Look, it goes without saying that, you know, if you've got a long relationship with the bank, back before competition came into play, you know, they had the majority of mortgages in Australia, and I guess that's still the case, but I think that market share is diminishing somewhat. And a really good mortgage broker can really offer you a far greater range of products across different lending institutions, and certainly a loan that might suit you better. Because clearly if you go into ABC Bank, the only products they can offer you are the products that they have. They're not going to say, well, we're ABC Bank, go and have a talk to XYZ Bank because they've got a product that's going to suit you better. Whereas a broker is going to have access to 30 to 40 lenders, which is really important. I'll give you a recent example of this. I had a young couple that were interested in a unit that I put to auction last Saturday. They'd looked at the property 3 or 4 times and were really keen on it, and they were on a bit of a deadline to get their finance in place, and they were dealing with a mortgage broker as opposed to a bank, and the mortgage broker was working really hard for them, obviously all of last week, because the deadline for them was Saturday morning. The auction was 10 a.m. Saturday morning, and I was in constant contact with that buyer nearly all day Friday in terms of where they were up to with their finance. It got to a point where I got a text message from him just after 5 p.m. that said, basically, my finance has not been approved, and unfortunately we can't bid at auction on an unconditional basis tomorrow, so we'll still come to the auction and we'll see what happens. If it doesn't sell, we'll then make you an offer post-auction. I then got a text message from him, I think at around about 8:15 on Friday night, saying that his finance was approved. So that means that their broker, who obviously is a very proactive and a hard worker, and obviously very diligent, you know, worked well beyond you know, your normal 9 to 5 certainly, and above the call of duty, I would have thought, to work beyond 5 p.m. not only 5 p.m. Friday, but doing everything he could paperwork wise, pushing through to get everything in place for those buyers to be pre-approved for the auction the next day. Look, I've not heard of that happening too often. Long story cut short, they turned up at the auction. I felt that they were the right buyer for the property, or the most interested buyer, I should say, and they bought the property at auction. We're just over the moon, you know, really excited. I was really happy for them. I kind of felt for them that they'd pushed so hard and looked like unlikely the day before that their finance was going to come through, and then lo and behold, a few hours later it was approved. So there's no bank on the planet that would do that. You know, their business hours are pretty much 9 to 5. No disrespect to the banks, but you know, if their deadline is 5 p.m. Friday, they shut up shop and go home. I know there's a few that probably open on Saturday, but this was a 10 a.m. auction on Saturday. So a really good broker works hard for you, gets the job done. You actually don't pay him or her. They get paid by the institution that they get the loan through. So if you're not in contact with a really good broker, I suggest, you know, plan A may still be the bank for you, but certainly get a second opinion and have a plan B, because you can see how it can work for you. Anyway, market's moving along really strongly at the moment. Unprecedented levels of inquiry. Coming into spring now, we're now listing auctions for September. I'll tell you more about our auction spectacular that's coming up at the end of September. You might have seen a bit of information on social media over the last week. It was only launched on the Sunshine Coast last week. If you want more information on that, get in touch. But love to help you out with any real estate inquiry that you may have, whether it's buying or selling or investing. Give me a call or drop me an email, 0418 22 31 60 or simon.thomas@raywhite.com. Over and out for now. We will talk to you very soon on the next video. Bye for now.